Welcome, everyone. This is your number one boy, Ekas. I think I'm getting too much comfortable at this. This is your number one boy, Ekas, Themba Kells. Welcome to Talks with Kells podcast. Your number one podcast at Ratanda, smashing numbers, trending for all the good reason. The smartest guy at Ratanda, the most fluent guy at Ratanda, the most famous guy at Ratanda. I'm Petty Ekas. So, this is the fucking confidence I have in myself. We have, if not, one of the greatest guests we've ever had. Good podcast, the greatest, Thulani Mashinini. My brother.
Thank you, Kells.
That has to be a warm welcome, my brother. It's been long overdue. It has been long overdue.
How are you? I'm very well, my brother. No, thank you so much, my brother, for having me.
Yeah.
I've seen it long time coming.
Is it?
But you know, great moments come when we least expect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very delighted to be here.
Yeah.
I hope we're going to feed the ears what they want to hear.
I think we're going to get too controversial to a point where when we are done shooting the episode, you text me the following day, Kells, please don't release that episode, guy.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to get there?
Yeah, it could get there. Please don't release that episode, Kells, because, hey, you know, I've triggered some feelings from a lot of people, and I've been getting calls. You know, I don't know, man.
No, you know, if you know me,
Yeah.
I'm one person who speaks unashamedly.
Yeah.
And of course with devotion and with respect.
Yes.
But when it gets to a point where radicalism needs to reign,
Yes.
it will reign irrespective. People who catch offense and who catch feelings are those on the wrong side of things. Because the truth will always hunt you, no matter how hard you can hide yourself. So we hope not to offend no one, but we must speak the truth. You know, whenever we open our mouth, let us make sure that the truth come out. You know, so let's speak the truth. Let's enjoy the broadcast. Let's see to the perspective that is not fixed. You know, if there's a need for us to persuade one another, let's do so comfortably. The space of talks must be comfortable.
Must be comfortable.
Exactly. So we cannot be hostile in engagements.
True.
There are no restrictions.
No, and don't police another person's views. Your views must be free. We cannot say, I'm not comfortable to this idea, therefore it must not find expression. You know, so we must speak. We must speak freely.
I know.
Without fear.
Shit.
Speaking of people that know you and don't know you, who is Thulani Mashinini?
It depends where you want to look at it from. My childhood, my school days, my political activism.
Where would you start? If this question was given in a bigger platform, where would you start when they say, who is Thulani Mashinini?
I will start where I'm at now.
All right, start where you are now.
Because a lot of people where I'm at, they can relate.
Yes.
You know, firstly, I would put it as it is. I'm known for my vocal activism on the ground. Be it in a business space, be it political. But since 2012, when I started to get into politics deeper, I've been wearing the political cap ever since then. Even when I was in business. One would say, why do politics in business? But we obviously know you cannot divorce business and politics. They go concurrently. So I've been known for the midstream of politics, and that's what I will represent myself as even though I'm a young politician, I would comfortably say I see myself as a politician, and people around me know me as a politician. I've been into politics, even if I've been into different political parties, by the way.
Oh, yes.
But
yes.
I've been
we are coming there.
We are coming there.
Politics.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, no, that's true. No, that's
So
true.
that's
true.
in a nutshell, that's what I am. You know,
Okay.
your youngest politician, I want to believe, at this current state.
Okay, so your educational background
Yeah.
is also from here, like in Heidelberg. You went to
Yes.
school here. You were born and bred here. What happened? Give us a background of yourself.
Okay, now that's a very intelligent question to ask, because you want to get the details. Okay, I've got a family here. My dad is in Everton. My mother resides in a town called Valmarina in Mamello. I was born in Spruit, Natal Spruit. And my mother moved to Everton, but she never stayed there for long.
Okay.
And then I attended my primary school in Valmarina. Then when I went to high school, I came here in Heidelberg. I started my high school in Goroya Tuto, what was known at the time as D.O.P.
D.O.P, yeah, back
Yes.
then.
So you'd know that these two places I'm talking about, Ratanda and Mamelo Valmarina, they've got a relationship because in Mamelo you'll never find a high school. So everyone who goes to primary there, they eventually end up here. As I speak to you today, there are children in Khanyali Sedi, there are children in Ratanda Secondary, even Goroya Tuto who attend school here in Ratanda or Heidelberg. So we've been having that relationship ever since, even the hospital. But now it has changed. They are using Furienachem.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the hospital. Kopano, if I'm not mistaken, yes. But previously they used to use Heidelberg as their midstream hospital.
Okay.
So that's the background a bit of it.
All right.
Fantastic. All right, cool. Are you ready to dissect? Because when we get into business, we get into business. Are you ready to dissect?
Let's get our hands dirty.
Fuck. Why have you been to not so many, but different political parties? And where does your loyalty lie?
I think it's safe to say I grew up in a political family.
Okay.
The surname of Mashinini, it's hyped behind the activism of Tsietsi himself.
Okay.
Okay.
And my mother is a big fan of him. At some point, she tried to trace the family in Soweto. I don't know how successful that was. But my late uncle, who was also an activist, used to go to school with him.
Okay.
So we are that family when we are sitting and we feel joyful. We'll sing struggle songs.
Okay.
But there's a catch I want to give you. I think when I was doing grade 12, I felt out of love with politics. Because at the time, there was a family friend of ours that my mother adopted.
Okay.
And then she became a councillor in Midvaal.
Okay.
And then as a result, I wouldn't love how people will approach her. You know how rowdy politics and its environment gets. And I saw it as a space that was not comfortable. And for that reason, I fell out of love with politics. I said, I don't imagine myself doing this, you know. But so little did I know is that throughout the time, I fell out of love with politics because now she was a councillor. She will come with these agendas of council, and she will ask me to assist her in dissecting them.
Okay.
So when I dissect those things, I started to understand the theoretical part of politics without being a politician.
Okay.
And my interest now grew because there will be times where she would go and face the community, she would lack confidence. And because she's so close to me, I would have to go and guide her on how to approach crowds, how to speak to crowds, and how to literally have that confidence to do her work. Okay. And also assist her in terms of agendas and what is expected, what are the objectives thereof. So why I'm giving you that background, I want to show you that politics, even today, you may feel like it's not your thing. In time, they may catch up with you because politics become our permanent posture of life. Even tomorrow, you're going to negotiate a deal.
Yes.
Once you start negotiating, you are politicking because you are trying to persuade that person to see your point of view.
Being political.
So like what Themba, for me, I think, if I would rephrase the question or ask it from my perspective, is did you like the different type of the different political stances? Was it also from ANC, then EFF, and then the evolution of what you just created now? Yeah. Which is socialist
economic freedom movement.
Yes.
Look, all of us who were fed politics of the ANC, whether we liked it or not. And I was never even a huge fan of the ANC. I was always PAC.
But Bona, that's the thing. PAC, ANC, they all have like an amalgamation. If you find, when I read a book by Riboni Tao, the what's that book called? The Rise and Fall of
the ANC.
Yes. And when I read that book, I saw that there's a relationship between PAC and Azapo and
it's an arms struggle
the ANC Youth League. So.
Yes.
I think everyone who is right now active in the political stances as a young person stems from that. right? The history of young political activists comes from that generation, or rather that struggle, the armed struggle.
Yeah, well, if you want us to take it that deep,
Yes.
we'll have to have a session of its own.
Okay, no problem.
But I can give you summaries why they are not the same.
Yes.
You would know that when the PAC broke away from the ANC, it was mainly on ideology.
Okay.
And when you look at the ANC in its formation, Abo Chief Albert Lituli, Abo Morok, all they wanted to achieve at the time was to be recognized within the power decision-making body. And on the other side, PAC was radically saying, we want to transform. For instance, let me ask you a question. I know it's your podcast, I'm not allowed to ask questions. I must answer.
You are allowed.
So why is it that even today, you still have members of PAC who are in prison for crimes that they committed during apartheid? You get me? So there's never been a transformation and a transgress. And I said something and other people caught feelings the other day. I said for me personally, it's my personal viewpoint. I don't know what are they rewarding MKVA veterans for? Because they hardly killed those people. They never killed those people. But Azapo and soldiers, the armed wing of PAC, they literally, when those white people came to destroy us in the township, those cadres will go to the town and destroy their families. Hence, they can never, ever, even today, sink to fund the PAC.
So
because
what you're saying is Azapo, PAC, all these constituents,
Yeah.
they all have a vision, and the vision and the mission and whatever it is kind of influences why people keep jumping from one to the other. Is that what you're saying?
I said earlier, ideologically,
Yes.
the PAC never moved an inch.
Okay.
Even today,
All right.
go and check their slogan. They say we'll get this country through the barrel of the gun. On the other side, ANC says we'll get this country through peaceful negotiations. That's not what PAC stands for.
Right.
PAC say the way you took our land, you must return it the same way. ANC, on the other hand, it says let's collaborate, let's engage, let's negotiate. But some scholars would say the approach of the ANC was necessary because there was enough blood spilled. Would agree to a certain extent because even the great warrior of the ANC, Winnie Mandela, warned. He said, comrades, over the CODESA negotiations, you are over-negotiating now.
There has to be action in per se.
No. When we come to negotiate, let's say, for instance, we are negotiating in this table.
Yes.
You must not come with a fixed position to say either this or nothing. You need to be able to be persuaded. So Winnie Mandela realized that the regime terror is not willing to compromise. They want to give you the political power without the economical power, which is what currently we're still suffering from. Because politics without economy, what is that? Hence, today we have a crisis of corruption. Comrades have then self-discovered that for me to live in this institution that I lead, I must exercise my political power so that the means of production, in a way, they are redirected to me.
Can I ask you one thing? Do you believe in corruption?
I don't believe in corruption. I think corruption is a disease. But I cannot say corruption is not there. It is there.
So I personally have heard rumors that you've sold your soul to the devil. And the devil is the one that perpetuates corruption. What is your idea of maybe defense on that one? Because they're saying Thulani is fickle. We can tell you that, comrade. Thulani is fickle.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at me.
And I'm saying, I was saying to him, I wanted to ask, that could be propaganda, but for me,
Exactly.
that could be propaganda, but for me, the fact that I know what the word coalition means, I'm like, okay, but actually maybe he did. They have a right to feel like that because they followed whatever the SEFM, so sorry for social economic freedom movement.
Yes.
They followed you, and that probably also had a vision, right?
Yeah.
Then the next thing for them that don't understand, it's like you amalgamated and formed one with the one thing that they all were fighting against.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let me answer the question.
And for a young person, I think it goes back to city spekelela. I mean, we're trying to vote for young people, and then the next thing he does exactly that.
Okay. No, there's two ways that I want first us to look at it. Let's look at the character and the personnel behind Thulani. And when we give example of selling out, because it's easy. I know when I was still doing what I would call street politics, politicking for survival. I hated everything and anything else that leads. Because in the back of my mind, I thought, is their problem that I'm poor? Is their problem that I don't have work? Is their problem that I can't finish my degree? You get my point. But from this standpoint of view, look at me. I want you to analyze that. My brother, I'm fierce. I don't play. You'll never capture me, even you, Kells. You'll never capture me.
Now my aim by bringing you to the podcast was not to capture you.
No, it's to share content.
To capture you if you are captured.
I'm a leader and I'm available. And I will always speak even to people that you do not like. So one thing about the allegations of capture and what have you, I think it comes at the premise of expectations that are not correctly aligned. Because firstly, let me take you through what our membership first stands for. Our membership says you voluntarily join the organization without any means of personal gain.
And sorry to cut you on that. That's what when I did my research, they all said, Hamara, ungene office in the human, what are you in human?
Community service.
Yeah, community service. Maragas fagi, young one. He's right. Then if you ungene was, which this is not for personal gain or personal, then why are you campaigning? It's just
it doesn't end there. My comrades have a right to feel the way they are feeling. But I also say to them, we are in a journey. You can't say to me 2 years in the office and then therefore you have failed. What is it that you are using to measure my success? No, my failure. And one other issue, critical one, our duty as SCFM is different from all the other political parties we are working with. Remember, we started the organization 3 months before elections. We went in, it's like we threw ourselves in the deep. And for the fact that even now we're still swimming and our head is above, it means we're doing something good. And let's say if tables were to turn and we were given the responsibility to be a mayor, one would ask with what sufficient experience, with what administration personnel. Those comrades who say Agasfagi, they are correct. I personally want to work with my comrades. Whose dogs must I hunt with?
So is it true that you are the one that put Mbulegi as the mayor? Because that's what they say. They say your chair.
You had influence.
You had influence in.
No, because we speak politics, we must be factual. We didn't put Mbulegi by any means of voting. He emerged uncontested. But we did vote for the Speaker of Council. And we had, remember, it didn't just fall out. It was just a lucky day and then they got voted. It was pre-discussed. And on the pre-discussions, there were terms in which we agreed that if we vote for you, in exchange will be this. There is also a statement that was issued by our Secretary General that says, actually, we don't want to be in a collision with the ANC. We don't want a relationship with people who have a repeatable history of doing not even good to their own members. So what about us as opposition? So we said when there is a need and it's necessary, we will vote with them. And in exchange of course, having to sit in the mayoral committee. What's strategic about sitting in the mayoral committee is that the first matters of council gets to be discussed there. So we have a first hand of information by sitting there. And ask me a question, why did we choose community service, for instance? Community service doesn't deal with a lot of budgets. I want to make you aware. Even when you go to pay, for instance, for symmetry and you want to book umkoti, you don't pay directly in my office. You go and pay at finance. And finance book it out through a community service. But there's a key weapon at community service. Sports, art and culture is there. Community service at most is always interaction with the people. Clinics, hospitals, traffic, all of schools, they fall under us. So because we are an organization that wants to grow, we want to be permanently with our people. If I go, for instance, I'm in corporate services. corporate services, I think, is two things that are key. Just the legal aspect of the institution and the hiring, the HR, the hiring and the firing of the institution. If I really wanted to take that stance to say my only duty is to make sure that outside my term, I have deployed my comrades, I would have went to corporate and say, let's make sure that these comrades are being deployed.
Yeah.
But we must also guard against means of corruption. We can't say it's wrong when the ANC put its own people, and then not we want to come and put our people. But it's okay for us to have our people represented in council, especially if they have qualification. And let it be a fair contestation. Whether DA, whether everyone, let them come and then their fate be decided on who the best candidate is. But it's unfair when you know you didn't even submit a CV, you are at home, and then the next thing you are appointed. That one we don't agree.
All right, leadership. I don't want us to politicize this episode, ne? But I have one quote of which I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
So it says, politics is the art of looking for trouble, finding it everywhere, diagnosing it incorrectly, and applying the wrong remedies.
I'm happy you are saying politics. You would know that my political sense or argument, it's behind activism. That's why it's easy for me when I hear that there's an issue that wants political intervention. I first go as a human being and assess the situation. I can give you a story. You know, Extension 7, there's an old man. Overlelu case is on a wheelchair. Politically, they will say, we've applied credit control on this man, therefore he needs to pay like any other person. But that is a special case. It cannot be treated on the merits of what credit control says. You hear me? And there's also a quote that on the very same political quotes that you are quoting that says politics is conflict management.
It is conflict management.
It is conflict management. When there's conflict, we can't shy away. When people are upset that they don't have water, they don't care what department I'm at. They want me to come and make sure that something is being done. So we won't fold our arms and say, no, it's not me, it's that one or it's that one. It doesn't work like that. My first obligation is that I'm a councillor before I'm MMC of community services. Therefore, I bear the responsibility to make sure that our people throughout, they've been serviced. And issues of electricity and water, they are the key aspect of why we are here, why we exist in the very first place. So you cannot hide away, Kells. This thing is difficult. And it will be easy for on-chair revolutionaries to say that, hey, you went wrong there. They won't even tell you when I went right. But because they are on-chair revolutionaries, they never stand up to get their hands dirty. They are quick to blame. But I still forgive them, even if they don't ask for forgiveness, because I have a responsibility to lead them again tomorrow. So I forgive them automatically, even if they don't ask for an apology. But I'm saying to you, history has no blank pages.
Yes.
You have the 5 years to judge me if really I did sell out. But I'm not a boy. Make no mistake, no man can wake up to tell me that sleep, wake up, drink water, come to me. I'm no ice boy of nobody. No one can capture me. They can try.
So what I would say in simple terms, when you can still vote for me. I'm there inside trying to, I still have the mandate of SCFM in the office of whoever, what is that guy's name? Mr. Mululegi, sorry, Councillor Comrade Mululegi. What's Nkos? Yes.
It's a common cause.
Nah?
It's a common cause. If you understand politics, you will know that the correct succeeders to the revolution is socialism.
Yes.
So whether I represent the idea right or wrong, at the end of the day, socialism is the one who's going to carry us to a revolution. So, and I think we are not appreciated enough. I will tell you why. For the fact that we are from this homestead, for the fact that in our business, in our troublesome backgrounds, we had the idea to think of starting our own political party that is represented here. We need to be appreciated for that, because the idea is going to live even beyond us. Whether we come in, we do the good job or not. And you would know that politically, the dynamics will determine what is it that needs to be done at the time. When they went to exile, it's not like they wanted to go to exile. At the time, the dynamics... force them to go to exile. Imagine going
And
for
when
40
you say-
years and not seeing
Another
your
question
children.
for me
Is it nice?
You're like the force for change, right? And how do you feel, these are my words, as the ambassador of change in what is going to eventually happen nationally, coalition,
yes.
How do you feel? Because you're like the young ambassador of it, and it's the first time it's happening in...
I'm actually excited that we're going to have a coalition national.
Yes.
Because the stereotyping is going to die.
Nah.
When they see that those comrades on top there, they are more brutal than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you think you can call a national leader
It's like you put
and tell
yourself
him that you don't have water
on the
here?
pedestal. He put himself
Leadership.
on the pedestal
Okay.
of change.
Yeah.
And look at now, you're getting all the bashes and taking them in. But who's learning more? I think he's learning more. But otherwise, story for another day, I don't know.
Story for another day.
Yeah.
So I want us to move in a direction whereby we shy away from politics a bit. Because now your voice is a bit...
Yeah, we
I
kind
don't
of
know,
not
it's
miss
a
that
bit
shit.
aggressive.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
So,
forgive me on that
I feel
one.
like you're in parliament and you want to
address the
address
elephant in the
someone. No,
room.
chair, you're out of order. Actually, this is not the correct mandate. You wanted to touch base on leadership and set a record straight.
Yes.
Please guide us, my brother.
If you check at the characters of leadership, there's only one thing I want to emphasize on. For me, decision making is everything when it comes to leadership. You need to decide effectively. Yes, I know there's an aspect of intelligence, trustworthiness, courage, and the most important one again for me is sternness. But having intelligence alone in leadership is not enough, because a lot of people who are intelligent, they end up becoming oblivious towards being engaged because he knows, you know. And now having courage alone, you'll almost be like a fool, because whenever people come mistreat you, do things to you, you are courageous. You are like, yeah, no, tomorrow you will change and become a better person, you know. And then with sternness, that's where I think my strength is. Sternness means the ability to promote those who work hard and the ability to punish the lazy.
So you will not be oblivious to the fact that something is wrong. You will not pretend like you don't see that.
No.
Okay.
No, this is
Alright.
politics, my brother. If we don't get along, we don't get along. You can't bring me this water and I won't drink it. I don't care if you feel I will be otherwise. And in politics, I know we don't hold permanent grudges. But if we don't agree at this point, I need to treat you from an arm's level to say we don't agree. Because there's nothing dangerous like a person who would come camouflaging like your comrade. Because in politics, we speak secrets. We tell each other secrets. You know, you would not believe some of the things I get from opposition. They come and say, here are the things that they are doing, here is what they are playing.
What is Mluleki doing that we don't know?
I don't want to dwell on popular view.
Yes.
You know, a popular view is very dangerous. Some people will tell you, let me give you a scenario of some of the things I didn't agree to do. They will tell you that, hey, in 2012 we fought for Mluleki to become a mayor, and then today this man is in a position, he's not giving us what we want. Therefore, we want you to spearhead a direction that is against the man. But come on, where do I enter? Where was I in 2012? What was I doing? You understand? If I fight with the man, let it be on the basis of what is logical currently before ourselves. And I cannot come with a fixed position to say, because a lot of people say this man is like this, I need to see him like that. But it does not change the fact that he's an opposition. The reason why we are contesting this thing is to take them out of power. And even before they go out of power, because one thing about those comrades, they are very skillful when it comes to issues of governance. They've done it for a very long time. So there is a lot that we must learn from them. Except the corruption.
Except the corruption.
No, don't learn, and they are good with it.
You haven't learned any amount of corruption.
Well, if I was corrupt, I was not.
I'm not saying you're corrupt.
I'm
not saying you're corrupt. Haven't you learned any amount of corruption?
It haven't benefited me. I haven't learned any amount.
I'm not saying it has benefited you. Haven't you learned any amount of corruption being involved in politics?
I haven't.
Sure,
I'm very sure. Anyone who knows my corrupt activity.
Who's the guy from EFF? What's his name? the Lekoloane story, the municipality is also now in trouble.
Yeah.
Apparently, they will the highest ranked one as far as Kingi. The audits are concerned.
Yeah.
They were one of the best,
Yes.
right? And I just read yesterday, if not even read, I watched on TV. They are now also under siege.
For corruption.
For corruption.
What type of corruption? I must also ask that question,
So
because
my
there's different forms of corruption.
As far as service delivery, because actually everyone apparently there's stories now in the East Rand for Otawa, Doati, service delivery. So my question is, are you also feeling, because you are just like that guy, what's his name, Bambu? Who's that guy?
Bambu.
You're just like him. He's caught in the middle of something that was already established. That municipality has been established and it's been under the ANC, but has been doing well. But now that we know that it's been not really doing well, but now that it's out there,
My
do you
brother,
feel the same way? Do you feel like you're also stuck in a
very far
in a
from
realm
corruption.
of confusion because you are in the city, but you don't know a lot that's going on. But people are crying. We're not happy with them. Myself, I'm not happy with them. So when I now just like that guy Bambu.
Yeah, no, I get your example, but I'm very far away from money. I'm very far away from corruption. I don't know even if I wanted to be corrupt, where will I start? and let me also show you another thing. You see, I'm represented locally. I'm not represented in the region. I'm not represented in Salga. Should I put my hand in the cookie jar, there's no one else to defend me outside here. But for an ANC person or the EFF person, when they are corrupt, they can be protected because they've got external forces. You must watch that. But to what extent should all of us be corrupt? The reason why I took this leadership is because there was a silent voice that said, with you, we want the difference. So I must be the difference. I refuse to be corrupt with everything in me. Even if it comes at a bigger car, at a bigger house in town, I still refuse to be corrupt. Because corruption leads to nothing but a dismal failure to all of us. Because we are stealing from those who do not have.
Lovely.
Wowza, this is a political conversation. It's current affairs with Themba today.
Lovely. You're saying you must check what? Oh, the phone.
Okay.
You must check the phone. So, I wanted us, because I don't know, let me check time, if we still have time.
Don't worry about time, my friend.
I'm also worried about time. Our resources are quite limited.
Okay.
So, the funding, this is where the funding was coming. But we'll solve that. I want us to touch base on polygamy.
Yes.
The idea behind polygamy, because I've had some interesting conversations with you last time around. And like, Kells, there's no way that a man would subject himself to one woman.
No, I think let's put it into context. Firstly, it's not everyone who can be a polygamist. And it's not every woman who can agree on the concept of polygamy. That we must first put it aside. But as an advocate of polygamy and an advocate of Pan-Africanist, I support each and everything that our forefathers stood for. We cannot become a weak generation that opposes everything, even Maseko way too, because we want to be rendered popular. Today, you guys are oblivious of Ugenza Maseko, Nitolipan, you don't go back, and Uyenzubonga. And then the next thing, let's also dissect the issue of polygamy. The reason why our forefathers had polygamy, it was not only on a mutual benefit of a male species. It was also to orientate a woman figure not to be outside a relationship. And then whenever I speak to this woman called the feminist, I ask them one question, that which woman deserve not to have a man? They can't answer that question. So you are saying, Kells, as smart as you are, as young as you are in a relationship today, you get married tomorrow, 10 years down the line or 5 years, you meet somebody that you have feelings for, and that person is interested and very serious in being in a relationship with you. Are you going to come back and dish a woman that you've been with for 8-10 years because you found new love?
What I'm saying to you is that it's possible that you may meet someone of which you are interested in, and vice versa, but you're in a position where you can decide to say, I'm not going to explore this option because you've dedicated your life to that person 5 or 10 years back.
Says who? Who says you can
I'm saying as Kells. I'm saying that. as Kells?
It's your personal view.
My personal view.
Men outside there, my brother, don't care about your personal view. They've got their own view.
I agree with you.
And one thing I can tell you for free, I will speak even for those who don't want to speak for themselves. Men have an appetite for more than one woman.
Yes, that's true.
As a result, some of us here, we are offsprings where our mothers were not being married prior. You find that your dad had other children and he had you. So what are you saying to me? You should not exist in the confines and the comfort of your father simply because you are an offspring. Your mother was not married. It's hypocrisy.
Yes.
I'm not advocating for women to get along. Even if they don't get along, it's fine. As long as they know that this man has that woman and that other woman. Kells want to tell me issues of cheating. At whose context is that? Who said it's cheating? Having more than one woman is not cheating.
It's a matter of perspective.
It's my woman and my other woman.
Okay, who are you to define what is cheating and what is polygamy?
Firstly,
because everything we are from different schools of thought.
Yes.
Your view is your personal view. You cannot generalize it. No matter how much you may think you have the ability to do so, but you cannot generalize it. So it's your personal view. So whether you are saying it's cheating or it's polygamy, it's from your own school of thought. You are saying it's polygamy, I'm saying it's cheating.
Yes.
If I see you with more than 2 women, to me you are cheating, whether you like it or not.
That's why I say,
whether you like it or not.
Let's define the terminology a little bit.
I'm like, let's go back to the terms.
Yes, yes. The terminology cheating, for me, and I define it on my own.
You see now it's going to be subjective.
Yeah, okay, let's define it to what people know it to
Standard
description.
meaning,
Yes. All right. Firstly, when a person says to you, I define this as cheating, and I want to make another point very clear. I'm not condoning infidelity. I'm not condoning cheating in a concept of Kells that a person must be reckless and have women there.
He's not condoning abuse because
exactly,
say emotional abuse,
exactly.
blah, blah, blah.
But I'm saying to you, even if I like, I can quote historically. Black man, let me speak for a black man because I'm a black man. Black man, in reality, he has never had a trace before slavery, during slavery, and after slavery of being monogamous and having only one woman. We don't have that history. But there is a history where a black man is recorded to have more than one family and kids. And as a subject, I say to you, let's no longer want to ring fence this thing and call it words such as cheating and this man is in a serious relationship and commitment. And as a result, because polygamy is not foreign to us, some of us who are children of polygamists, then why do we want to be those people who've been taught envy and jealousy? That when another woman is with your man, you want to, there's a saying that says a woman can burn down her own house because there is a mosquito inside. You're trying to kill the mosquito, but you are burning the whole house. Don't burn the whole house. There is another woman. If your man really loves this woman, as a woman in her life, you are obligated to meet that person and know her. I'm not saying have a relationship. I'm not saying be friends. Just know her. And continue with the relationship with your man.
It's an obligation.
And I'm gonna make a scenario. Nah, I'm gonna give you a scenario. What you just said makes so much sense to me because my dad also as well. I was the last born for some time, and then there was another child, and he would rather have said to my mom, "I have another girlfriend," and if we are calling it polygamy, than saying, what's it or
You get
so rather let's just confine it instead of saying, this one is an offspring of infidelity.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. If someone,
I'm not entirely.
Another one.
I'm not entirely convinced, Sizwe.
Yes.
Because I stand on a different fence of
things.
This. I'm gonna describe it as shit because it's shit. I think as a man, you need to have some certain amount of values, but we are very different, and our ideas, our philosophy, our whatever it may be, are quite different. But for me, how I would conduct my way and principles as a man with values is that choose one woman.
Your first wife. Actually, in polygamy, that would be the
in polygamy, your first
I'm not
wife,
against.
you
I'm
say,
not. I'm not against monogamy.
Okay.
Monogamy is good. It gives peace of mind to know
We
that
don't want
it's
peace of
one.
mind.
No,
Now you
no,
only
no,
imagine,
no.
right?
That's
You don't
not
want
peace of mind.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't lead me.
I am for you. I am for you. Monogamy.
Don't lead
polygamy,
me.
I'm fine.
I will say what I want to say. I said it earlier.
Yes.
Monogamy is okay, my brother. It gives a peace of mind. But what I'm also giving to you is that it has not been successful. We have a lot of
Do you have the
individuals.
stats to actually prove that it has not been successful?
We can research it now.
No. You don't have the stats.
We can
Now we
do
have to
our
research.
own audit.
You're not being factual.
How many?
You're not
how
being
many?
factual.
Okay, let me ask you a
Comrade,
question.
you're not being factual.
No, we move from comradeship. Now
Okay,
what
okay,
are we
fine.
doing?
Okay,
This is a
fine.
social issue.
Okay, now it's a social issue. Yes. You are not being factual.
Okay, tell me more.
Because you need to go back and do a research.
Okay.
I mean, I'm stating it's opinions.
Okay.
It's not facts. When you are speaking from a position of fact.
No, I'm speaking on reality.
No, reality is fact.
Yes.
Then you are speaking on the position of fact.
If you want to see it that way, I will
No,
factualize.
it's not how
I'm
I want
telling
to
you
say it.
about
Reality
the reality
is fact.
that we have today.
What is reality?
Reality
Isn't reality fact?
I mean, have they been successful in stopping a black
you're
man
not
from
answering
having
me.
children?
Tilan, you're not answering me. Isn't reality fact?
Let's say it's fact.
No, we can't say let's say. Isn't
Okay,
reality
it's fact.
fact?
It's fact.
Aren't you being factual?
I'm being factual.
Then why don't you have some factual points that can back your statements?
So you
Because
want
you want us to research now.
We can, but let me not name even a name call. I am happy because he gave us an example of himself.
Yes.
To say the situation that
Because
I
he's
ought.
here. There are a lot of people who are not here.
I
Could give
have
the
the
example
same. I have the same situation where my dad had children outside. He couldn't man up to say to my mother.
Let us not generalize that.
No, he's saying what I'm saying.
I agree
It's
with
the two
both
of
you are
us.
saying that.
Exactly.
What about the rest of the people of which are not here to advocate for
Lalela,
themselves?
I said to you firstly, I'm not saying everyone
must watch
qualifies to be in polygamy. It's not
must go
everyone.
watch
And
Moja Love
and
and
not
see
even
what's going
guys qualify to be in polygamy because firstly as a woman, if a woman does not have a high emotional intelligence, we cannot see her as a potential to be in a polygamous relationship. But there are women who have a higher emotional intelligence who don't fear being in a relationship with other women. Unfortunately, society is wiping them slowly but surely off because the societal norm suggests that it must be you, me, and anyone, no one else.
Yes.
That's what the society presents on us. I'm saying, besides that, on reality now, we know that we have a situation where even ourselves, as young as we are, you have a relationship here, unomtuana, the next thing, but une baby mama drama. But my question is, if you leave this woman already and go to the other one, who is she going to date peacefully? Already you get me? But I'm not saying it's a subjective view that once you give a woman a child, you must be with them. Obviously, we have a choice not to be in a relationship if it doesn't work for us. But I'm still saying, if you can rebuild your relationship with that woman, especially for the safekeeping of the child, do it. You are once in love. And men, let's not be hypocrites. Ingathi masithola uthando elisha bese we go back and dish our women who've been with us when we had nothing. We'd rather have this uncomfortable debate to say, baby, yes, I do have somebody else. Can we see to it that we all coexist? And it's not even forced. And we can't even be arrogant and say it's either uyahlala or uyahamba. You need to be persuasive. And another thing you don't know about men like us who stand for polygamy is that we have endless love. You may say, yeah, but one will cost two will cost three. Maybe you never been in love like the way I have.
Being greedy.
You know, being greedy of what? Which woman must not have a man? Which one? Show me.
You can imagine what.
You see, you can hear what I'm saying. Which woman must not have a man?
I like the fact that you spoke. I mean, you spoke about guys impregnating women and then leaving them.
Wow.
Because there's a quote that I read that said, if you are living in a society whereby there are a lot of women without present fathers, or there are a lot of fathers without. In fact, it was based on women. Let me not just lie. If there are a lot of women without present fathers, it means that you're living in a declining society.
Sure.
this thing of saying you impregnate a woman and then you see someone else, you leave that woman. Who must come back and marry that woman? Because now she has a child. And this is me being factual. You see? Once
you being factual all the time. When it comes to that one, you're like,
no. Yes,
that's his choice.
For many guys, I would say for many guys. For many guys, it's that thing. But for me, it decreases your value as a woman. Yeah. So because already you brought someone else in, of which that's not my blood. That's somebody else's blood.
Yes.
But I'm not saying we shouldn't be involved with women who have kids.
Yeah.
We can get to that point as long as it's not me.
Which we know.
As long as it's not me.
I think
is like,
when a Kells. What we also failed to engage in the previous topic of politics, in that question, if why we join different political parties, there comes a time where your perspective has been shifted.
Yes.
Tomorrow we can represent socialism, but I will never leave socialism because it's the last solution. We can't say capitalism, but we can capitalize in a positive way also. So when your view changes, other things that you used to stand for, you would look at them as no more or less important to you. Like I say, I'm a self-proclaimed. For the longest of time, I've been scared to say I've got appetite for more than one woman. I've been scared to say that because I know I will be bashed. Nobody, even our elders, when you tell them that, hey, I want to marry Themba, they say, hey, ubano yokulumela. Nobody wants to beg that. But in my own view, I know that should I be successful in this quest, I'm going to be peaceful. I will have no reason to wander around and do all these type of funny things because already I have seen that I've never had a one consistent relationship.
Yeah, you are being true to yourself.
To myself, And then on the contrary, you'll hear society saying it's okay for people of other sexes, people who are bio to come out and speak up. But
I was about to go there. What you said is you've been uncomfortable to come out and say I like.
That's the same oppression was suffering.
Uncomfortable to come out and say, okay, actually this is not my type of sex.
Yes.
So it's like that. It makes you feel some type of way. But the moment you've done it now, it gives you some sort of liberation, which at least by as.
You get my point.
The third one, they know I did say initially that I want a polygamous.
And even if it doesn't happen, I won't feel bad and say no because I once proclaimed it must happen by fire or force. No, even if it didn't happen, it's okay. But I'm open for the view.
Yeah, you've said
and I call out all men who are having those secret relationships, who never pronounce abantwana babo. Come out. I will go and advocate for you. They must come out. I will advocate for them to say. So they are going nowhere.
This is what I want to know. What qualifies a man to be involved in a polygamous relationship? What are the right qualities? To have two or more than two women.
No money
firstly, no. Money is just being subjective. No. The rationale must be correct as a man. Why I say rationale?
Don't mislead us, please.
No, I'm not. The rationale must be correct because as a man of polygamy, you cannot be a hypocrite. You can't go to Naledi and say the other thing and go to the other one and say the other thing because your women are going to disrespect each other. So they must know that you are a stainless person. You represent them both and you refuse at all material times to gossip the other one from the other one. That's the first rationale you need to have. And then you must be a patient and a persuasive man if you want polygamy. Because now when you go and propose it and then she says no, it's not the end of the discussion. You allow her to be. But one thing I know about women, they would know why they say no to you not to have polygamy. Because firstly, you never gave her peace. You never gave her stability. Now you are threatening her peace by bringing another woman while you are failing on the very same relationship. So first establish what your woman's needs are. Satisfy them. And come back later and say, baby, you remember I proposed that can we have another person? You will see, and women, for what you guys sometimes don't know, women know that you cheat.
They always know.
They know that.
Yeah.
Don't say we, I don't cheat.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
and they are not bothered.
Because now you are disregarding what I'm saying. I don't cheat.
They are not bothered as long as you do not threaten their peace and comfort in the relationship. They don't have a problem.
Sometimes. Do you cheat? No, my nigga doesn't cheat that side.
I don't know.
I'm in a triangle.
I don't know.
She's an online cheating.
Okay, so you're saying, Guti, cater for what your women need.
Yes.
So women, because all of women, what their number one need is security. And
Yes.
security involves money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you must have money before you
Yes.
can bring another girl or another woman
Yeah.
in.
Yes.
Are you financially stable? Not you, but as someone who wants to have more than 2 or 3.
May I not agree holistically
Oh,
with
you
the
say
financial
subjective.
part? Yeah. Because why? You know, today we are told that some people we went to school with today, they are working. And then when other comrades of ours who are not financially fine, they want relationships with, they say, I don't date broke niggas.
Yeah,
they
broke niggas.
they call themselves working hands and all of those. I don't want that. I don't agree with that. You know, love should never be expressed on the confines of affordability or not. But it's important at this current moment in this South Africa that we live in, that we fix the aspect of the back and the economics. And even though we know it's not easy, we ought to be strategic in how we approach the financial means. But again, it's not up to an individual. In as much as you don't want to be where you are currently at, it's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and say, voila, now I'm at my final destination. It's a journey you will achieve.
But I think Tim has asked the question because if you watch even these shows that have polygamous relationships, the question is always, is Themba ngani?
Yeah.
You can't
Yes.
be Themba
Yes, 'cause
Yes.
we
always
broke
like,
nigga.
No,
You can't. Let us be factual.
let's say this. Yes, imali esithembini is very key
Yebo,
because
your point
the dependency of women. Akekho umfazi ofuna ukuvuka ekseni abone lo munye. Everyone wants to have their own. But I also have a different view. I will tell you, even with my kids, I want to support them up until a certain time. I don't want to support them throughout.
Okay.
In as much as they are children. They must make sure that they find them something to do that will give them also their own money. Even if I'm in a polygamous relationship, I don't want my woman to be dependable on my money. They must hustle their money and have their own. My money will take care of the most essential things. But for their inner things and their inner peace,
Kind
they
of
must,
polygamy is this one?
they
You must
should.
hustle for your own money as a woman. Hey,
They
run away
should.
from
I
this
will
man,
I'm the
guys.
man. I will pay. I've got no
You must hustle
issue.
your own money. This is polygamy. Then you must hustle for your own money.
Who said
Must
polygamy
run
must be
away.
structured on money? They speak about money because money is essential to do things. And economically, you know very why Kells, the idea of polygamy today is rubbish. It's because of economics. It's because black men does not have anymore. That's why they say to you, you cannot qualify. But if the heart want, the heart must get. It cannot be subjective to money.
I think you're right. And I think it's not us, gents, that confuse this term polygamy or that don't understand the confines of it. It's the woman. They confuse it because you are a slave queen. You are getting into this thing because you are a slave queen. And so you don't understand what is this that you are getting yourself into. As far as customs and what it is concerned, you are just getting into it because you saw money there. Or you're a woman who's just like this man, who's obsessed with this man, and you get one hours which so it confuses the notion of polygamy.
Yes.
It's the women that confuse it. And I know I'm going to get bashed for this because they're going to come back as feminists and say,
Yeah.
we are not confused, we know, but it's them. Because look at us. We are kind of agreeing with the money thing. We are agreeing with the security thing. But if they were here, there would be other things that come in.
Yeah, and the second issue is, you know why we end up lying so much as men? It's because we've never been given a platform.
Next time when you speak on me, and I'm sorry to disturb you.
Yes.
Exclude me. Exclude me. Exclude me.
Oh, he's an
Because
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Alpha male,
It's
alpha
okay.
male,
please.
No, it's okay.
Exclude me.
You know, I always say, I've got a friend of mine. I don't want to call his name because I'm on a podcast. I see him as very romantic.
Okay.
This guy would go to town, for some odd reason decide ukubhayela imedi yakhe lunch and get a new sneakers and just rock up emsebenzini wakhe with flowers. That's so not me.
Yeah.
But because he's my nigga and he's doing it, I like it. I want him to teach me. So we can't ridicule Kells. He can teach us that
when you want
this
to teach
is
me
how...
to lie, then I'm not going to subject to that.
No. I'm
Why
not
you
saying you
say
should
as
lie.
men we are lying? No.
No, I'm saying, do you know why men lie a lot? That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying I'm not lying.
Do you know why men lie a lot? It's because we are not being given a safe space to speak our truth. We are always subjected to speak a truth to a certain element. But let's say the day where your court comes and they say, speak all the truth now that we caught you. We start confessing real stuff.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah, and there's this question they like to ask the most. Say, why did you do it no muntu onje? No, it's not even no good to Mela Benjan. I always ask women who are against polygamy to say, how would you live your life knowing that you've got two heads? Yeah, you know, man, it's not easy.
It's not. No, I get you. No, I know.
Oh, now you agree.
I get you.
Wow.
Hey, if it means you don't know what I'm sorry. It took time for me to get it. I don't know Steve.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah?
Pun in that.
Shit! Shit! Now that I think about it, fuck. Oh,
But you're right, man.
fuck.
You're right. There's so many reasons to lie. And another thing would be really you're right. Because sometimes, even when someone is trying to start that polygamous relationship, also what I am in control, like I know what I'm doing. Instead of saying, baby, this is a journey, babies, I am taking you together and we are going through this journey together. No, because he's a man, he will act like he knows what he's doing. Not because you have very language the standards, you must pretend like you know, even when you don't. And sometimes I think it's okay to just say, baby girl, now this is ban. Siyahlanganisa lento sizabona phambili. But I'll be the head and just follow.
But I don't fault them a lot because as men we don't know much. You know, we don't know much. We think that we exist within the confines of our current. We don't even know that in the future we can want to explore that much. You get other guys who's been okay the whole time, and then suddenly tomorrow Sagane Mali, you wake up saying Yana Sagafunis team. Yabon is driven by money. It's not a concept that he understands from the initial part. And we are not even saying that women must feel like if they are in a polygamy relationship, they are not worth it. Because they love to ask the question, you in a wrong army. No, there's nothing wrong with you.
Hence I'm finding
exactly. And they feel as if when you go and enter in a relationship with another woman, you are belittling her existence in your life. It's not that. It's totally not that. It's beyond even her own rationale at the time, you know.
All right. So leadership, we're about to close it now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We've stretched time. I'm going to ask you just two questions. I don't know if Sizwe has some questions for you.
I do. I have two questions.
The question I want to ask is, are you in a polygamous relationship right now?
I'm working so hard
to get
it right.
Oh, okay.
To get it right.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, my question is, it's almost voting season. I did not know anything about the the social economic freedom movement, right? So let's say this is Zakele from I don't know where.
Yeah.
Just tell me about it. What would you say to me? Like how would you get my vote?
From a national perspective or a local
perspective.
Okay. The upcoming elections, they are national.
They're national.
They are not local.
Okay, let's do it on the national stance as well.
Well, we think it's premature for us to contest.
Because you are not there.
We are not there. But we will be on the ballot.
Okay.
So you can still vote for us, so that we don't want to confuse our voters come 2026 to say who now I'm voting for. Previously I voted. So we're going to be in the ballot.
Okay.
And locally, I'm saying that those young people who feel that they are fierce, they've got ideas that can ignite change. There is no any other organization today that can accept thinkers. And not that they are bad organizations. It's because they've passed the stage of setting the ideological clarity of their organization. The advantage with us is that we are at the helm of developing the culture of our organization. So any other idea that is vibrant, that is taking us forward, it's welcome in this field. It's a safe field. I know there will be some who say, no, why don't we start our own again? Starting, it's a whole bigger process. We can have more than one seat. All spheres and type of people can be represented under one party with more than 5 seats, if all we come together. So, and for that, it's an indigenous organization that was started here in Heidelberg. in Lisedi to be specific, it gives you all the right to be jealous about this organization. In fact, if there are more people who must be saying all type of things, it's yourselves who call yourselves 101A. You are the ones who should be saying this organization was bred in our backyard. Yes. So we ought to be the vanguards and the defenders of it. The leadership, I'm a politician. I'm subject to the mandate of my people. I work based on what my people say I should do. I don't wake up and apply my own personal viewpoint. My personal view does not matter. But the view of the organization collectively is what makes me to go there and disagree even sometimes with people I love. Because the mandate says we are not taking that position.
Okay. No, Yar. This is it. High five, Mr. Mashinini. I enjoyed the session. I'd love to have another one just before the elections. I don't know, but we must have another one.
Yeah, we'll see if it's feasible. They'll say here some shares on the podcast we're coming back every now and then. Well, I have one question that's left, and then we just wrap it up. What do you say to people that have bashed your name on the streets to say you're not a good person, you've sold your soul to the devil? What would be the message if you'd like to say something to them? Because I think maybe it might be a misconception about yourself. I don't know.
They never said it to my face. They are saying it to the street. And politically, if you are grandstanding and saying things there, there's no way that I can attend to them. But those who have believed such allegations, what I can say to them is, let them watch me closely. Let them watch me closely. And I'm a young person at the end of the day. There's no dustbin for young people. So simply because I did not satisfy a certain narrative, then I must be thrown in a dustbin. I'm a young person, I can be refined. I can be trusted again. I haven't done anything. And I know that for a fact. And I know that history will judge me. But to those, especially who think they are close to me, they've got all the access to me. I'm a very available leader. If there's a perspective they want to share with me and persuade me, I always take other people's perspective. I'm not a one-man show who believes that my ideas are supreme and no one else can give me something different. I'm willing to take that. But as far as I'm concerned, I think we are doing well. We are here. And we're still pushing. It's just been 2 years. Come on, man. Give the man his flowers. It's just been 2 years. More than that, what can we do? I have a responsibility to learn governance. And I'm learning very quickly. Before I started office, there was no what we call safety forum. Today, we have dropped the margins of carjacking to nothing but none. So let me ask them a question. If they feel I need to be substituted there, by who? Currently on the people who are heavy. Are you saying I'm not fit as a young thinker to be amongst the midst of those people, to give different dimensions and perspective as young as I am? Don't you think that in the next 5 years I will be better in terms of experience? Some mistakes that I've done currently I will never repeat in the future.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Shout
out to Top 99. Shout out to Top 99.
Oh, we've changed the directions of our camera. We're at Top 99. We're going to have a lot of shoots here frequently. So yeah. What is the message you have? I'm going to hug you because I love you, my brother. For the truth that you speak, for the gospel that you speak. What is one message you have for the podcast?
No, guys, thank you so much. I think you are doing an incredible job.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier off air, that I'm not a person of promises.
Yeah.
I commit. I think I have committed myself since I've seen the work that you are doing. And I don't want to be a hypocrite and say things I can't do. But there's an engagement that we must have after this. I think when you say you'll invite me again, it will be a different setup, a different dimension altogether. And all those little things you are crying about, as leadership, I think there's something that we must engage in doing. Because I would believe that from now going forward, you will get the recognition. And you have graced a lot of people with the content that you are sharing. So if we don't do it from the backyard, who's going to do it? So we are here. Use leadership.
Hallelujah.
Use leadership.
When it's time to bash him and break him because he does not meet up to the commitments, it is here on the video.
The commitments we know.
Archive. Yes.
I never said them.
It's when
there.
we can sit down like this and have different views, but not be, I don't know, not have hatred within those different views. If we can have different views and still be civil towards
Politely
each other.
agree to
For me,
disagree.
that's the most important thing going
point
forward.
exactly.
Lovely. I don't know. You said which camera? This one. So it's this one. It's been, I don't know, man. This episode was crazy. Had Thulani Mashinini on the podcast. Finally. Brilliant voice, brilliant mindset, well articulated. He's a politician after all. It has to be well articulated. This is Talks with Kells podcast, and this is how we close it. Your number one podcast, Ratanda. Thank you for your time. God bless
you. Mama ngiyofuna umsebenzi yaza kukhonula mama sulinyebezi ngithi mama ngizobuya mama ngiyofuna umsebenzi yaza kukhonula ala kahle sulinyebezi mama sengiyabonga ukhulisile noma nobaba sekashiyile ngiyahamba ngiyosibana ngisokolile indima idlalile ekhulu sikubonile yaza kukholula